Welcome to Idea Tennis, where we challenge ideas, elevate thinking, and serve up conversation that make you question everything.
I think the lesson that I need to learn here is when to compromise, but just as important, when not to compromise. I've done a lot of compromising over the years to get to the places I've wanted to be, the rooms I want to be in, and connect with people that I probably wouldn't have under ordinary circumstances. I realized there's lots of things in life that are give and take and you compromise on. But I think there's also a set of standards that people need to have and realize that those are not the things you compromise on. You have to know your value and know your worth. Don't compromise that for somebody else. Don't make yourself smaller than what you are to make someone else feel better about themselves. Don't compromise your standard of excellence in the work that you produce because someone else can't achieve that same standard. Don't compromise that you want an opportunity so bad that you're willing to bend over backwards and do things that don't serve you. They actually hurt you. And I realized this morning that is the lesson. You need to learn when not to compromise. You can't do 10 things well all at the same time. You can't split your focus in 10 different ways and feel that you're giving it your all. Success is not owned, success is leased, and the rent is due every single day.
The thing that will make you successful is the thing that you gotta repeat over and over for. But if you create a consistency, and if people see you showing up over and over doing the same thing, they're like, I'm such a person. We're back. Hustle with heart under your cup. You know what happened, Jess? Sometimes when you like in the morning, you're taking a shower, and you're sitting there taking a shower, some of the best ideas come to you. You're like, but then you're like, I need to write it down, but I'm in the shower. So then you start playing the thought in your mind like over and over. Okay, I need to remember this so when I get out of the shower, I can write it down because I take a lot of notes. Every time my idea comes to me, I take a lot of notes. But one other thing I was thinking about this morning, because I was texting a friend yesterday about like her book thing. And we was like when you write a book, like what do you start off with? But then it hit me with an analogy, right? Writing a book is just like traveling from New York to California. It's the kind of same journey, right? You figure out where you are and where you want to go. So same thing with the book. Like the book is centered around that control question, that question that you're going to answer for the audience, and then the promise of where they're going to go to destination. And then you talk to them about what you experienced on your journey to the destination. So you figured I'm in New York. Okay, so then if I explain how I'm going to get from New York to California, I know one thing, this thing only going to be valuable to people that from in New York want to get to California. So now everything else in life is flowed the same way. So whatever it is that we're trying to work on, we're trying to do is the same process. Is we got to find the people that are in that location that want to get to the next location. It's not for everybody, but only for those same people that's in that location want to get to the next location because that information is valuable to them. So when I tie it back to the book concept, I'm like, okay, so people are always having a difficult time writing books. Well, like a book is you're going to answer a question that people having difficulty answering. But then you're going to promise them a solution that they want. And then on the journey of writing the book, you take them through that process of answering the question. So the book is formed on one big question, one control question, and a big promise. And after I was talking to the young lady yesterday, I was like, let me explain it to you. This is how the process works. But then it hits me this morning. Everything in life is the same way. Everything is life in the same way. What is the thing, where you at, where you want to go, and then you figure out the journey there, and you express and you share that experience with other people. So now when you think about your coaching program, I want to ask you this because I know you got your coaching program. Do you see your program saying where you like taking people from where they are to where they want to go? Is that how your system's set up?
Yes, but there's some stops along the way from where you want to go. It's true. Listen, I'm going to rewind the conversation a little bit, and then we're going to lead into that part where people want to go, where they are and where they want to go. So I'm a lot like you. I get the most random, brilliant thoughts everywhere and anywhere. I literally will write them on my phone in my notes. When I take a shower, my shower is right next to the sink, and I keep my phone right there so that in my head, I justify it as like, God forbid there's an emergency, I fall in the tub and I need to call for help. But really, I've been known to create a quick voice memo with a brilliant idea that came in the shower. And my nightstand right by my bed, I have a paper and a pad, so I don't have one on to write a note. But I think that those ideas, those strokes of brilliance that, come at the most random, weird times, that is God, the universe, planting the seeds within us. I think that when we talk about where we are and where we want to be, it has so many different layers of how to get there. It's not just a straight line to success. It's not a straight line to achieving your goals. It's not a straight line to having an idea for a book and then all of a sudden the book is for sale. There's processes. And I think that sometimes in the midst of trying to get to where we want to be, we lose sight of the things that we need to learn, realize, grow, evolve, change. I've been struggling with something lately, and I'm going to share it with everybody because I want people to. I've been trying to figure out why something has been repeatedly happening in my business life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was this morning when I was in the shower, the reason revealed itself. I didn't need to write it down. I just needed to understand it. Really, the reason revealed itself because I've been thinking about this. Like, I generally am not the type of person, when I go to bed, I clear my mind. The only thing that it's filled with is prayer. But I have been consumed with these thoughts of these things that have been happening. And I realized when I was in the shower and I realized, I think the lesson that I need to learn here is when to compromise, but just as important, when not to compromise. I've done a lot of compromising over the years to get to the places I've wanted to be, the rooms I want to be in, and connect with people that I probably wouldn't have under ordinary circumstances. I realized there's lots of things in life that are give and take and you compromise on. But I think there's also a set of standards that people need to have and realize that those are not the things you compromise on. You have to know your value and know your worth. Don't compromise that for somebody else. Don't make yourself smaller than what you are to make someone else feel better about themselves. Don't compromise your standard of excellence in the work that you produce because someone else can't achieve that same standard. Don't compromise that you want an opportunity so bad that you're willing to bend over backwards and do things that don't serve you. They actually hurt you. And I realized this morning that is the lesson. Need to learn when not to compromise. I wrote an email and I took back my power in the email. I decided I was going to drive this vehicle.
Going to California then.
Yep. And I was going to set the standard. These are my terms. Is there room for discussion? Absolutely. Is there room for compromise? No. The only compromise is you want more time, you need more money. And yes, it's not always about money, but you can't allow things that don't serve you to take away from the things that do. And so it was a hard email to have to press send on, but I did it. And then I was up all night thinking, oh my goodness, this is like the second time this week that the same theme has come up. And then God, the universe, planted the seed in my heart and in my head that the lesson is compromise.
Here's my response to that. When you do this, you're gonna get a new capabilities from it. And then when somebody come to you and suggests, I've been having the same challenge with another one of my clients, and they're doing this to me, and he's like, ah, I know what that look like. I've seen that ghost before. And this is how you get rid of the ghost. You do this. So I think we gotta recognize our moment of realization You recognize our moments of like lessons learned and oh, this is what it is. Because a lot of people doing the same thing. I don't know how to stop this faucet from keep running. And you're like, oh, just turn a couple more clicks and you boom. So that was good. So congratulations on that. Cause I know that's okay, I gotta cut people off. And
Yeah.
I've been thinking some of the same thing. This is crazy. This is crazy. So another one of my realization this week I've been thinking about it because I've been stagnant. Today's what? Friday. I've been stagnant this week. And I was telling my lady friend, I'm like, man, for some reason this week I don't feel like moving anything. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I don't feel like moving anything. And every time I try something, it's like the energy's not there. I try something, the energy's not there. But then I realized that this week is my week to start saying no to people. And I've sent a couple no's. I'm like, I'm not that project we was working on. I can't be part of it because plus it's a beta program. It's just my time. I'm like, I don't have the time to give right now. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm pulling out. I'm not doing that. And it felt good because now I realized that I need to focus. I mean, I was reading. There's a book called The Principles of Steve Jobs. There's a couple books I've been reading on Steve Jobs. I've been studying this guy lately. And one of his thing was when he came back to Apple, was he went focus on one thing. He killed off a lot of other programs, and he went to focus on one thing and just get the thing out there. Like this spear gonna get sharpened. I'm like, maybe the universe is telling me right now I need to figure out to focus on something, like all my energy into it, and gotta go and make that program the thing. And that's what I've been feeling this week. That's my sense this week of as far as cutting things off and focus on that one thing to make it really, really good. You taking notes. I like when you take notes. What's
No,
popping in
I'm
here?
going to remind you
Oh,
what you have to do and where your focus needs to be.
all right, coach. I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh.
Memoirs to Millions book launch, April 27th. We got a date. We need to put in the work.
Okay.
That is where the focus needs to be. That's
Mm.
what, it's part serious, part joking. I do understand that some of the things are beyond our control, right? As the book and things like that. But I want you to be able to realize that there are times in our life where we stand still because it's almost as if God is speaking to us and
Mm-hmm.
you need the silence of the stillness in order to be able to hear and receive the message. I think when we're constantly on the go, and I'm someone who is constantly on the go, we don't leave time and space for, is this serving us? Is this helping us? Are we doing what we feel we should be doing, or are we doing what we think we need to be doing? There's a difference, right? You doing the right thing for because it's the right thing to do. Sometimes it's not what you want to actually do. And being able to filter out what are the things that are going to get me closer to where I want to be without the excuse, without the sense of procrastination. I think that when you're able to find clarity in those moments, then you see the world different. You see your objectives different. You see what it is that you want to do and accomplish and with who. It's cut out the dead space, cut out the
Mm-hmm.
dead beats, cut out the things that don't serve you. Our people, listen, not everyone has to move at my pace, but the people that are my people, they're going to hang on to, even if they don't know how to run at my pace, they're going to hang on to my coat strings and run with me as fast as they can because they realize success loves speed. It is easier to keep momentum than to start and stop and start and stop. And the number one reason people start and stop is because they get in their own head.
Mm.
They get in their own head.
That is an interesting thing. And this says the little things matters. By the way, I'm gonna say this. You just drop a little note on me just now. I'm saying there's a saying that says small hinges swing big doors, but it does, man. Some of these little things they really swing big when you think about it. So I appreciate you putting that sign up, because I saw the sign, and in my mind I'm thinking, okay, I need to get on that bus. The sign on that bus is the bus I need to get on. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get on that bus and stay on that bus too. We're talking about from New York to California, right? Make sure I get to California because that bus sign is the right sign for me right now. I'm seeing the sign. Like you're right, Jess. It is memories to me. Let me focus on that a lot more. Put my energy back behind that and make it work. Because a lot of people are like, oh, actually, I like the way you think. Let me brainstorm. Let me go get some ideas with you. Because we talk about idea tennis. I like it. It's energizing for me. Oh, let's think about an idea. Let me work through the thing with you. Because I like fresh ideas. But then coming back to your strength, which is fact finder lady, the fact finder lady shows up. But I appreciate you because that's something that I need to really, really focus on, narrow down my thing on.
For a lot of people, they have, and we've spoken about this before, people have great ideas, but either they never execute them and they only stay as ideas for forever, or they start them and they never finish them because they're easily distracted by the shiny new thing that's calling their attention and the new person that's saying, I want to do something with you. I think you're brilliant. Listen, I'm humble as hell. I don't always take compliments well, in the sense that I don't know what to say other than thank you to a person, but I love when people say nice things about me. Everyone that says a nice thing about me doesn't mean that I have to work with them. If everyone that says you're brilliant, you're such a great coach, I love the way you speak, I love the way you break things down, can you work with me? If I spread myself too thin, I am never going to be in a situation that I am fully present, that I am giving my attention to 100%. Why? Because I have 10 things I'm working on. And so the 10 things get a small percentage of my time to say that I'm showing up and I'm doing what is expected of me. I may not be doing it well, but I'm doing something. And so we started off this year with, instead of the resolution, we spoke about our word of the year and what it was that we're working on. And I believe I said, I have 4 projects that I am working on this year, 4 things that are my focus. Anything that I say yes to have to benefit or improve on the 4 things that I'm working on. It doesn't matter how much money somebody offers me to do something. If it doesn't align with the 4 projects that I'm focused on, the answer is no, because it's taking me away from what it is that I've set as a goal. And I think that everyone should do a similar exercise. It doesn't have to be 4 things. It could even be 1 thing, but it should not be 10 things. You can't do 10 things well all at the same time. You can't split your focus in 10 different ways and feel that you're giving it your all. There's some days with the 4 things, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, wait, I need a couple more hours in this 24-hour day. Where can I find them? But when you tell me this new thing that you're working on, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, why, Asher? Why? You have great things. You have great things. This is a great thing with me and idea tenants, but you have great things. You have other great things. And I think you could serve the world so much better if you focused on those things instead of saying yes to so many people and so many different things.
I'm gonna tie back to the truth about this. When I was in the military, there's something about the military, why military is so high stress. It is such a burnout organization. Is because we do so much. The last maybe like 7, 8 years of my career in the military was so much work. Because in the military, you're not a specialist in a lot of areas. You're a generalist, especially when you get in a leadership position. So you do so much different things. Like you was talking about the 10 things when you end of the day, you feel like, did I achieve anything today? Because you did so many different small bites here. It's like, did I really actually eat a full meal today? Because you were just nibbling on everything. So a lot of that happened, and then you end up getting burned out because you were doing so many different things. And I recognize that's what I got burned out in the last year. I was like, man, I'm done. Like my body is running low because I'm doing so much. But I learned a lot of skills. I learned a lot of things. But it wasn't potent. Like I was getting really stretched because you run from here to there to that because everybody needs something from you because you're in a leadership position and people just want this, they want that, when you're able to take care of that. And that becomes addictive as well. So I run into that as well when I left the military. I was like, man, I like to really run around and help people too. But now I'm figuring out the Steve Jobs method where you focus on that the 1 to 3 things and you line it up and you organize and systematize it, you synthesize it, and you go out there and you shoot. Now, that's my focus a bit at least this week was telling me that I need to go and get potent in an area that I need to put all my energy in. Get on the bus, stay on the bus the whole way. Along a lot of those stops along the way that might be awesome place to get out, but no, my goal is to get to California, so I'm gonna stay on course and get in California. Over to you.
I think that you already got off the bus. You made those stops to learn the things that you needed to where you're going. You don't need to revisit the same places twice sometimes, right? And the military served you in lots of different ways. When you came out of the military, those experiences really created a profound impact on where you saw the rest of your life, the new chapters that you were about to write, the discoveries that you were about to make, the things that the university of the universe was going to teach you that you didn't learn in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Things you learn in the military serve you, absolutely. But the things you were about to experience when you came home,
The entrepreneur life.
those were going to be the things that shape the direction of the rest of your life. I think that when people think of success, they think of a singular achievement generally. But the reality is success is not final. It's not one thing. It's not one achievement. Success is something that once you've done it, if you want to keep it, you got to keep doing it, whatever it is, right? We've all heard the quote that says, success is not owned, success is leased, and the rent is due every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean for people? It means you get up and you do the things that you need to do in order to get to where you want to be. You need to be persistent. You need to be determined. You need to have perseverance. You need to be able to know that you can feel a sense of disappointment and a sense of accomplishment all in the same day. You need to realize that success is not just you and you alone. Success is the community of people, your board of directors, the people that encourage you to be better and do better, that show you the way, that know the things that you don't know to help you get to where you want to be. That's what success looks like. Scary, beautiful, ugly, messy. A logistical list and systems in there too. And fact finding along the way. But that's what success is.
Here's my question, because we were running this mini series quietly undetected. But my question for you then, Jess, because I think this is a real thing, right? And you wouldn't imagine that people fear success, but I think they do. And I'm curious to know why you think people fear success. Because we're going to transition into this, because we started with that really easy question for you to like digest the conversation, but now we're going to ramp it up to actually the getting to California piece of it. So why do you think people fear success itself?
I think because they realize that success isn't a static achievement. It requires change. It requires doing something consistently. I think people realize that change is part of that growth strategy for success, that you need to not only look at what you want in a different way in terms of creating success for yourself in your life, but success is scary because the most successful people, whether it's a person, an organization, a business, a corporation, the most successful people on the planet all provide a service or a product that helps people, whether it's to help them with a product, a tangible product, help them with their mindset, help them with, look at the example of Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, I love how she tells the story, how she got fired from a newsroom. Did she let that stop her? Did Oprah Winfrey look like what a news anchor should look like? No. What we imagine in our head of what someone should look like for a particular role. I want to know who made that rule. One of my very dear friends, she is the founder and CEO of a fashion house. She does not physically look like what you would think of as a CEO of a fashion house. She doesn't fit the mold, but she has stirred up the industry and created such change within her industry that she is now revered as a top fashion house. People are now coming to her and asking her, can they put their clothes on her models? She's changing the face of fashion because she was brave enough to stand out, to stay true to who and what she wanted, and not what other people thought the mold of the CEO of a fashion house should look like, be like, sound like. Oprah Winfrey did the same thing. And then she stood on a stage for I don't know how many years telling people how to live the best life, sharing stories of inspiration. Her show, when it was on, I used to record it. I used to watch it. I'm gonna date myself again. The VCR. Why? Because the message she had, I needed to hear, and other people wanted to hear. And I think for us here on Idea Tennis, that's what our goal is, to share a message that's going to be profound and impact people, that's going to be enlightening, that's going to help people realize you don't have to look a certain way, you don't have to be a certain way, you don't have to speak a certain way, you don't have to have a certain level of education. If you want success and you're willing to do more, to be more, to have more, we're going to encourage you and we're going to help show you the way. Do you agree?
No, I like the Oprah model actually. I looked at her stuff as well because I realized she built it based on reading a lot of books and sharing those books and interviewing those authors and sharing stuff. She do a lot of that stuff as well. It's interesting. We started off talking about books too, but the power of using the book model. Like a lot of people get successful based on books. And most successful people I know, one of the common theme in their life is they read a lot of books. And they process a lot of data in books. And Oprah did it with a lot of books. And she's read a lot of books. So I was saying, folks, get into the books, man. Either write it or listen to it. Either way, but it helps your brain. And when you start off, we talk about, ask a question around fear. And it's interesting. I was thinking about some of my most successful moves in my life is like the chapter one part of life, which is I'm pretty good at finding. I'm gonna use women as an example, if you don't mind. I was pretty good at getting the girl, Jessica.
I have no doubt about that, Asher. You're a smooth talker.
I was pretty good at getting the girl, but I wasn't good at keeping the girl.
Because you a smooth talker.
But here's the thing. But when I'm doing the entrepreneurial life, I realize it's pretty much the same version. It's the same setup because the thing that makes a business work or a business last is repetitive, routine, mundane thing that people don't like. Which same thing in a relationship. To keep a relationship together, you got to create some kind of routine, mundane thing that keeps the relationship certain, that keeps certainty in the relationship. And because I get really bored, I never stay in a relationship too long. And the same thing in business, you got to do the thing that's boring to keep the business going. So I'm like, man, now my personal relationship life taught me something about business that I need to learn. But I couldn't combine the two until I was looking at business. Like, wait a minute, I hate this boring stuff, the repeating the same thing over and over every day. Like, it gets boring. But I realized that's what makes the business stay together. Because if you have employees or people working in the business, and every day you come with a new thing, they're gonna lose their mind. But if they know it's the same boring thing over and over, they're gonna okay, tomorrow I know what they expect at work. It's gonna be the same routine, mundane thing, and if, maybe a few new things there, but it's not a lot of new thing every day. So I don't create chaos in the business. Therefore, like I create chaos in a relationship because I want to do new things because I get bored. So now I was drawing the comparison to other people's life. Probably the same thing. The thing that will make you successful is the thing that you got to repeat over and over. It's boring. But you create the consistency, and if people see you showing up over and over doing the same thing, they're like, I can trust this person because tomorrow I can predict what he's going to do. But if your tomorrow is very uncertain, they can't predict what your tomorrow is going to do. They're not going to trust you. Same thing relationship. If a person like, oh, this guy's getting bored, I can't trust him because he might do something different tomorrow. So then I trust being with this person relationship. But I had to learn that lesson. So this is my confession. I had to learn that skill. I had to commit to where I'm going to keep doing the thing that make a relationship work, which is creating certainty based on certain habits, certain behaviors that people can predict. Because if you don't have that, they can't trust you long term. Same thing in business. What are your thoughts?
consistency and routine are critical for achieving things in life. Part of success, absolutely. Determination and effort are then, I'm going to say, the partner words when it comes to consistency and routine. And you said it right. People want a sense of certainty, especially because we live in a world with so much uncertainty. And the truth of the matter is the only certainty we have is what we can control, what we can do, what we have the capacity to do at any given moment. It doesn't mean that's what we're going to be able to do forever, in the sense of, I would hope to be better, do better. What I could do today is good, but what I could do next week could be great. If I'm consistent, if I stick to a routine that's going to help me get to where it is that I'm working towards. I think that so many people want that fast forward button. We live in like the microwave society where everyone wants instant success, instant results, instant. I won't lie. If I could lose 30 pounds instantly, I'd be a happy girl. But that's not reality. Come on. That is not the way the world works. So, how do we overcome that illusion of the instant society that we live in right now is not real, it's not true, and people took time, they were consistent, they did things along the way to their success that requires so much more than fear. I think when we talk about fear of success, a whole new responsibility creeps in when you're successful. And I don't know a lot of people that want a lot of new responsibilities. Most people shy away from responsibility. Most people are like, no, you can make the decision. Where are you going for dinner? Oh, you could pick. What color blouse looks better? The red or the blue? Oh, they both look good. They don't want to be responsible for making the wrong choice or the wrong decision. And so they shy away. I think that when we realize, how do you learn? How do I know if the red shirt is going to look better on you than the blue shirt if I don't give you my opinion, or you asking me a question? Which one is it? So let's let go of shying away from the responsibility. Let's focus in on what we have control over. Let's let go of the idea that what we're doing, other people are going to think a certain way. Guess what? One of the best things, and I think you are right now in this season, is I didn't even realize it was happening when it was happening. I outgrew some people in my life and I left them behind. I realized that the way they thought and viewed the world was not the same way I think and view the world. And while all the people that I have in my life don't have to think the same way that I do, they all should have that thing of seeing the world from the lens of possibility and limitless, and that beautiful, scary opportunities are waiting for us around the corner. But if you're miserably content with the life that you have now as the end all be all, I don't know if I have room for you in my life. I want people around me that are the dreamers, the big dreamers, the people that push me to do things that I thought were impossible. I'm okay that I outgrew some of those people. I still love them. Don't get me wrong. I still love them. They're just not my go-to people anymore.
You said something else where you said like you kind of outgrow them, but there's another piece to that. I think it's more than just outgrow them. It's they decide not to go any further with you. Because when you walk with somebody and you're like, hey, we'll use California, New York, same thing, right? We decide we're gonna leave New York and go to California. And we on a journey there. And that person get to Las Vegas, Nevada. And they're like, I don't want to go any further. But you gotta keep going. So it's not like you outgrew them, is that they choose not to go any further. Therefore, you have to leave them behind because they don't want to get to the future now. And that's what happens a lot. People, they just decide choose not to go any further with you. And they got to take responsibility for that. Not saying that, oh, you leave me behind. No, you choose not to go any further. We decide we're going to go in the future. You choose not to go any further. So you stop growing and you stop growing in Nevada. You don't get to California. So a lot of that happens. I see that you're right. In my life, I've seen a lot of people like they don't want to learn new things. Why? They choose to not go any further. They don't want to learn these new AI stuff. Oh, I'm learning these new things. I like new things. That's one thing you can count on Asher, learning something new. Because I love the new stuff.
Teaching other people. Thank you for schooling me on AI and ChatGPT. And I know I'm still super skeptical on some level, but I love me some ChatGPT these days. It's become
And
my
ChatGPT does only one thing, and it's interesting too. You know what I was looking at too, actually? I'm not gonna mention the name here, but that one quiz, I was playing with it yesterday. And when I tested on other people, I was like, this is the first part of the technology I've seen where it makes the process way more easier. Because here's the thing, nobody cares about your business plan, Jess.
No.
Nobody cares about your business plan. Like I have a business plan. Nobody cares about a business plan. What they care about is the execution of my business plan. They care about execution. Is can I execute that thing? Like, I don't care about the business plan. I care about execution. Is it something I can execute? If it's something I can execute, I'm like, oh, let me try this because I can execute it. I'm inspired by your business plan. I really don't care about it. So then I make me start thinking now. What is the potential of this new tool as far as creating executable moves for other people? How can I make time to results more faster, more easier because of this new tool? So I know we just switched up this now, but I just want to mention I was thinking about it yesterday too.
So I think that you're right in what you said, that people don't care about your business plan or your business opportunity. They all care about one thing: what's in it for me? Whether it's a quiz, an opportunity you're presenting someone to establish business partnership, or even someone sent me a link to their friend's new clothing line. I'm like, sure, these are nice, but it's not my kind of nice. What's in it for me? Do you want me to share it? I've had people that have sent me direct messages on like Instagram that have asked me to share their page and ask my followers, and I don't have a lot of followers, but to ask my followers to share their page. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, what's in it for me? Why would I do that? When we talk about what's in it for me, why would I do that? Does it sound selfish? Yeah, it does. But isn't that what part of the process of getting to where we want and what we want? It requires some level of selfishness. How is this going to help me get to where I want to be? This quiz that you're referencing, it allows people to have efficiency. It allows people to not have to know the answers, to use the tool to create income and opportunity. That's the difference with this quiz, that it simplifies the systems and the process to create new share of customer, new revenue, and enhance and increase their current revenue and their current share of customer. And you don't have to know how to do anything other than send the quiz.
Here's the tie back. When we started this conversation, I asked a question about the book. We said we're gonna leave New York to California, and the only people gonna interest in that book is the people that are in New York that want to get to California. So then you mentioned something about the person. What's in it for me? If you was in New York and I send you something and you want to get to California and I send you something like, hey, this is the direction, the map to get to California. You're like, oh, I'm looking for this. So now it becomes very challenging to find the people that are at one location, I want to get to the next destination, and your thing is the solution for them. So when I was looking at the quiz, I'm like, it makes it simpler now. But when you think about your message or the thing you're doing, you got to figure out where you are, and where you want to go, and who are the same people that are starting from where you are. I want to go to the same place where you want to go, because those are the ones that are like, oh, what's in it for me? I can tell right now what's in it for me. I can see it because I got in my head, I'm looking for a direction to get to California from New York. But if I'm in New York when I get to Georgia, doesn't matter what you send me about California, I don't care because nothing in it for me. So we got to figure out the message piece. And I was watching one of the short clips from you from one of the last previous episode about the pitch thing. I was like, Jess was breaking it down, the pitch piece. And I was like, Now it makes even more sense. You got to pitch to the folks in New York that want to get from New York to California.
It's a
If you pitch
different
to folks in New
pitch.
York that want to get to Georgia, they don't care.
Mm,
Nothing in it for them.
nope.
Mm.
I work with, some of you may know and some of you may not, but I work with the iconic rapper, Fat Joe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Gino. And he told a story about an invisible train at an
Mm-hmm.
event we attended. And the story goes that once in a lifetime, an invisible train stops at your station. And the question then becomes, are you getting on the train or are you letting the train pass you by? And I think for so many people, when you think about success and using the bus analogy of New York to California, we don't realize that the train is not coming back.
Mm.
Bus isn't coming back to New York. Once it gets to California, the question becomes, were you courageous enough to let go of your fear of the unknown, to let go of the concept that you have to be in control of everything, to let go of the negative possibilities of what if, and realize that this opportunity, this train, this bus may never come back. And if I don't get on it now, I'll never have the chance to get on it again.
That is powerful, my sister. And I think we're gonna wrap up here and close out with the 5 P's. I'm gonna keep sneaking them in here subliminally, but here we go. So we talk about the fear of success, and the 5P concept comes around principles, right? I'm gonna read a few things so you guys can digest this. So, principle: success doesn't create pressure; resistant to change does. And you could think about the pattern. The pattern, oftentimes, the patterns are self-sabotage, fear of responsibility, avoiding growth opportunities. And here's the promise. The promise is this: shifting this mindset will allow you to expand without anxiety. And we fall into prediction. The prediction: if you embrace growth, you will navigate challenges smoothly rather than fearing them. And how you apply it with the purpose. Set a growth mindset ritual. Document what success feels like at each stage. Now, if you think about the bus journey from New York to California, you gotta walk through the phases. Like, what is each step along the way feels like, look like for you, and then see how these 5 P's are showing up in your life. Because once you start mastering these things, you can start making sense of your life a lot more easy. And seeing your behaviors, your habits, and start documenting them, recording them, measuring them. And by the end of the day, once you apply purpose to it, life becomes a lot more better. So, what is your biggest takeaway, Jess?
So, my biggest takeaway, I'm going to remind everyone, success is not owned, it's leased. You got to pay the rent every single day. Consistency, routine, determination. I have a team of people that I work with that we call each other Team Relentless. And we're relentless. Why? Because nothing, no one, no obstacle is going to stop us from where we are going. There's no excuse. There's no, oh, I don't feel. No, no matter what it takes, we are going to arrive. We have purpose. We have a plan. And I think that's part of the success formula, being able to realize that change is inevitable, but improvement is intentional. And what are the choices that you're making to get you to where you want to be? Be flexible. Realize that even me, who loves to have a sense of control, needs to have flexibility. It's the only way I can grow. It's the only way I can evolve. And so while I'm flexible most days, some days it's a work in progress, and that's okay. We are perfectly imperfect. Stay true to who you are, learn when to compromise and when not to compromise. And we'd love to hear everyone in our community's thoughts about our conversations on Idea Tennis. Are these conversations moving you to do something different? If they are, leave us a comment. We'd love to know more about you, your goals, and conversations you'd like to hear from us.
People are shy. We know we got the passive watchers and the active ones. So the active one, let us know what you think. The passive one, keep passively watching until the day comes when you're like, you know what, I'm gonna send a message to Jess and Asher. I've listened to them long enough. I think they weren't hearing back from us. We would love to hear from you, but no pressure. No pressure. We got folks that are brave like me that will go out there and talk to a group of girls and don't feel embarrassed about it. But then no fear of infiltrating our community. Come on and show up. Let us know what's going on with you. And of course, I'm gonna we call this our CNN, right? We're gonna tell you what's going on in our world. So definitely the Members of Millions community, it's been working, it's been growing. And would love definitely to have people that are interested in writing their memoirs. I've been sharing just to start this new marketing campaign where I'm putting out like my ideal client, right? So my ideal client is XYZ, and I explain exactly what their journey might look like, so forth and so on. And I just keep posting these every day. And I'm see how people are engaging with them, see how people are responding back with them. But if you see one of my posts out there say my ideal client that fits yourself, then let us know. Come tap in. With that, folks, make it an utterly fantastic day.
Change is inevitable, but improvement is intentional. And what are the choices that you're making to get you to where you want to be? Be flexible. Realize that even me, who loves to have a sense of control, needs to have flexibility. It's the only way I can grow. It's the only way I can evolve. And so while I'm flexible most days, some days it's a work in progress, and that's okay. We are perfectly imperfect. Stay true to who you are, learn when to compromise and when not to compromise. And we'd love to hear everyone in our community's thoughts about our conversations on Idea Tennis. Are these conversations moving you to do something different? If they are, leave us a comment. We'd love to know more about you, your goals, and conversations you'd like to hear from us.
People are shy. We know we got the passive watchers and the active ones. So the active one, let us know what you think. The passive one, keep passively watching until the day comes when you're like, you know what, I'm gonna send a message to Jess and Asher. I've listened to them long enough. I think they weren't hearing back from us. We would love to hear from you, but no pressure. No pressure. We got folks that are brave like me that will go out there and talk to a group of girls and don't feel embarrassed about it. But then no fear of infiltrating our community. Come on and show up. Let us know what's going on with you. And of course, I'm gonna we call this our CNN, right? We're gonna tell you what's going on in our world. So definitely the Members of Millions community, it's been working, it's been growing, and would love definitely to have people that are interested in writing their memoirs. I've been sharing just to start this new marketing campaign where I'm putting out like my ideal client, right? So my ideal client is XYZ, and I explain exactly what their journey might look like, so forth and so on. And I just keep posting these every day. And see how people are engaging with them, see how people are responding back with them. But if you see one of my posts out there say my ID client that fits yourself, then let us know. Come tap in. With that, folks, make it an utterly fantastic day.